This is the OPS pregame report.
We are live from Spartan Arena at Homestead High School for the annual Homestead versus Lancz North matchup and also the first home game of 2022. Good afternoon and Happy New Year. I'm Anthony Gery, joined alongside color broadcaster Noah Lancz. And Noah, it has been 49 days since these Lady Spartans have lost a basketball game. They've now won 10 straight and are easily one of the hottest teams in Indiana.
This team is definitely one of the hottest teams in Indiana. Ayanna Patterson started out this win streak playing so well. She had a few 30-point games in there, but more recently she was out against North Central, and this team had a great win. Everybody rallying around together and just getting a huge win.
And the good news for Homestead is that their star player was back last night, but like you mentioned, no Ayanna for the Spartans in their huge game versus North Central this week, which means some other Spartans had to step up. Taking a look at both Tuesday and last night's game for Homestead, the Spartan shooters stepped up to the occasion.
And it was Molly Stock and Allie Stevens who had career games at North Central. You see Allie Stevens, 26 points and 9 rebounds to go. Along with that, Molly Stock, 20 and 3 assists, and having a great night from behind the arc, 13 of 25. Whenever you shoot over 50%, you're just having a great game. And then more recently, yesterday, Southside, it was a closer game going into halftime, only an 8-point lead for the Spartans, but Ayanna Patterson really led this team to a big win in the second half. It was a great second half for them. 25 and 15 is a great game, especially when you're out the game before.
And the two games a little bit different. Homestead got off to a hot start against North Central and a slow start with Ayanna back in the lineup against Southside, but both games ending in big wins to improve this team to 14-1. And we mentioned the 10-game winning streak. Well, let's dive deeper into it now. Noah, when you really take a look at who Homestead's beaten and the point differential, it's safe to say, as we just have 3 weeks left in the regular season, these Spartans are truly playing their best basketball of the season as they gear up for a postseason run.
This team is just playing so well right now. Just some great wins in there. Most importantly, South Bend, Washington, a team that was ranked number 1 earlier in the state, earlier in this season. They came here. Ayanna Patterson had some early foul trouble, but they were able to rally around each other and get a big win. Then more recently, Fishers, Hamilton, Southeastern on the same day. 2 tough games and 2 tough wins. And then North Central, another great win without Ayanna Patterson. This team is really building up a great resume, and they're outscoring teams by more than 20 points.
The number 13 strength of schedule in the state, too, and now ranked 14-1. It is an incredible team and easily one of the best teams in the state. In fact, Coach Spool has them ranked at number 1. And today, it is a very familiar opponent. Lancz North makes the long trip up to Northeast Indiana from Northeast Indianapolis to Fort Wayne to meet Homestead for the 7th straight season. And Noah, I think one of the most amazing stats in this matchup is that Homestead is 6-0 against the Wildcats. Lancz North is no slouch in this time frame either, having won a state title in 2020, getting to another state title game in 2019, and routinely being in the top 10 every year.
It's really shocking to see. Lancz North has had more success in recent seasons, especially in the postseason, than Homestead, but Homestead undefeated against Lancz North. You see 2 of the closer games. One came last year in an OT game, and then the first matchup between these two, Homestead winning by 1. We'll see if we can get another close one. Some have been close, some haven't been, and we'll see what we get here today.
And today is a little bit more of a mismatch. Homestead, heavy favorites in this one. And with the series only being 6 years, it doesn't mean that there haven't been dramatic moments, and maybe none bigger than last year. And so we want to take you back to that moment now. Lancz North down 3, and current Boilermaker in 2021 Miss Basketball winner Jayla Smith with a miracle of a shot to send it to overtime.
Helm looking for somebody, just going to chuck it across court. Smith ends up with it, takes a 3. Swish! She hit it! Jayla Smith from beyond, are you kidding me? We are going to overtime at Lancz North. 45-45.
Yeah, last year, that was incredible. Number 1 on Sports Center. That shot is utterly insane. You can tell why she's such a great player. But Homestead, they went on to win that game, of course, being 6-0 in the series. What an incredible shot, though, by Jayla Smith.
And it was just really crazy to see. Obviously, this team has struggled without her this year, and Homestead came out victorious in that one. Maybe we'll see some more miraculous shots here today.
And Homestead, they are in possibly their busiest stretch of the season. They had a game this Tuesday earlier against North Central, played last night against Southside, played today against Lawrence North, and then Tuesday, Mishawaka Marion, currently ranked number 13 in the state, and then a home game versus Snyder, ranked number 8 in the state and number 2 undefeated in the SAC.
Coach Parker definitely has a stacked up schedule here for the Spartans, but that's good, getting more and more games against harder teams. That's what you're going to see in the postseason. If you want to make a deeper run, you're going to have to face these teams sooner or later, rather get to see them earlier than facing them later in the postseason.
And these girls, they are very, very poised. A lot of people, they look at that one loss versus Noblesville and don't consider them to be the best team in the state. But, I mean, they are here for it. Now we're going to send it down to our sideline reporter, Karlie Flanagan, who's standing by with Coach Parker. Karlie?
Thank you, Anthony. And, Coach, Ayana came back yesterday for the first time in a while, and she's back here today. How did that lineup change? Did it go any smoother? How do you think today will go?
Well, the big thing about having Ayana back is the leadership, and it puts us back into what we've done most of the year. Have that inside game presence is huge. Her ability to persuade what they do defensively and protect the rim is big. So, you know, we're obviously now full strength again, which is very exciting.
That's awesome. Good luck for today, and have a good game. Anthony, back to you.
Thank you, Karlie. And like Coach Parker said, the biggest part of Ayana being back, besides her dominant presence on the floor, is that leadership as a senior captain. It is always there, and it's great to see her back in the lineup.
It really is, and that's something that it doesn't get talked about enough, being a senior and captain on this team alongside Maggie Kinsley. Those two have been really big leaders of this team, not just scoring, not just playing defense, but having the team all play well together and getting everyone to work well together.
And we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, lineups and tip-off. You're watching Homestead High School Hoops on Homestead Live.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
To get you home.
Ooh, I'm gonna eat you up when you go home. Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah.
Can't wait. I'm just gonna bite you.
Oh baby, that looks amazing. Marcos, pizza lovers get it.
Marco's Pizza, located at 10345 Illinois Road, inside the shops of Scott Road. Thank you, Marcos, for supporting the Point 91 FM and being a proud sponsor of Homestead Media's athletics coverage.
Welcome back to the OPS Pregame Show. I'm Anthony Gery alongside Noah Lancz, live from Homestead High School for tonight's matchup between Fishers and Homestead, and we're going to take a look at the starting lineups for both teams.
For the Lawrence North Wildcats, this team definitely has some size to them. 2 players 6 feet or taller, another one at 5'11", and then a 5'8" freshman guard, Kaya Hurt there. This Homestead team is definitely going to have to match up against this Lawrence North Wildcat taller roster.
And Homestead, they have had success against taller roster. South Bend, Washington, with 3 girls over 6 foot. Homestead, they struggled with them early, but they were able to figure them out. So we'll see how Coach Parker goes about approaching this Lawrence North squad. For the Homestead starters, typical starters, it hasn't changed all season. Well, it only changed once when Ayanna Patterson wasn't in the lineup against North Central. That's when Evie Bottoms got her first start of her high school career. The same five: Emma Royce, Molly Stock, Maggie Kinsley, Ayanna Patterson, and Allie Stevens. They've done a great job all season long and continue to do so.
And that normal starting lineup was back yesterday, and we saw what impact they have, as they always do. Great win for them yesterday, and we'll see if they can continue that today.
Molly Stock and Allie Stevens, the two shooters for Homestead, are usually pretty reliable, sometimes a little bit inconsistent, but they had their best shooting game, the two of them both with career-high nights versus North Central, Lawrence North's rival, actually. Two teams very familiar with one another, similar play styles. And so this matchup today, it might favor Molly Stock and Allie Stevens.
It definitely could, and they struggled yesterday. Molly Stock did not get any points yesterday. Allie Stevens had 10, but she was struggling from behind the arc, so they'll see if they can switch that around. They've been very inconsistent this season.
Now we're going to take a look at our keys to the game. Lawrence North, they need to force some turnovers on Homestead and knock down all their three-pointers with any chance that they get.
If you can force turnovers, especially if you're going to use a press against this Homestead team, you can have success. We saw Noblesville do that. This team has struggled against presses a lot. And then any team, if you're playing against Homestead, you have to knock down your open shots, because if Homestead's going to give them to you, you cannot waste them.
And on the flip side, Homestead, they need to not turn over, break the full court trap, and make the open shots. Make the threes that Lawrence North is going to give you.
And we just talked about it. They've struggled against the trap. And then for the three-pointers, 38% on the season. That number's been going up and down. It was better before, but here it's going down.
Ayanna Patterson loses her first tip of the season, and it leads to an early 2 points for Lawrence North. She got up there, but turned it to the wrong team. Lawrence North with an early 2-0 lead. Spartans back on offense. They're going to try to move the ball as much as they can to get some open shots. And just like that, a turnover out of bounds off of Allie Stevens. Lawrence North is going to get the ball back, and look, they could take an early two-possession lead.
The Spartans just passing it around outside of the three-point arc there. They need to look to get it to Ayanna Patterson down low. She just came off of a great game. Why not feed her?
Matchups definitely favor Ayanna Patterson. Let her take as many as she can. Kaya Hurt drives inside, lost her dribble. Gets away, shot no good. And Homestead, they're gonna get possession.
Already twice now that Homestead has struggled trying to get the ball, and then they turn it over again. This team is not looking good to start, especially with their passing. They're not clicking.
We said Lawrence North, they need to force some turnovers. Well, Homestead, they're just giving them turnovers at this point. 2 unclean passes out of bounds, and you know, Coach Parker, that is what gets to him. That's what makes him mad, so he can't be happy right now over on the sideline.
Especially when those turnovers are so carelessly thrown away. You just cannot have that. Even though this team is 8-9 on the season, they still can get a win. They've had some quality wins with the 8 wins that they have.
Shot no good, and that's going to be called off of Lawrence North's aerial helm. Homestead will get the ball and a chance to even the score, take the lead.
This is the first look that we're seeing with that full court press here by Lawrence North, and we'll see how they're going to deal with it for this whole game.
Patterson got the ISO down low and takes advantage of it, even when a second person comes to guard her. Gets in the easy 2. Homestead ties the game up with 6:17 left.
And there were 2 and 3 Wildcats on Ayanna Patterson right after she got the ball there, but that didn't matter. That's why you have to feed her.
Patterson, the all-time leading blocker at Homestead, gets the block and turns it over immediately back to Lawrence North. Look at this dominant block by Patterson, just pure form. And then carelessly, she tries to find Allie Stevens, but rockets it way over her head.
And on the season, she averages 1.7 blocks, 2.9 turnovers. Those turnovers she would like to get down. It is the most on the team.
Great spin move and put in for Jemiah Thomas. Lawrence North takes a 4-2 lead. These games are usually pretty good ones. You can expect it again today despite record. Kinsley drives inside and makes the layup, knocks it down. She had a big night last night for Homestead early on, knocking down 2 threes. She adds to her points today.
And yesterday she had 12 points, her most of the season. It had been 9 before that, but she's one of those senior leaders.
Shot put in for Victoria Geis. Lawrence North back in the lead. Royce gives it to Patterson. She's going to take a long 2, had the foot on the line, no good. And Lawrence North recovers.
The Wildcats so far doing a really good job on the defensive end. Homestead's not settling into their offense. They're picking the ball up, and right there, Ayanna Patterson taking a deep shot. You don't want her taking too many of those just because she's not been too effective.
Jemiah Thomas called for the travel, turning it back over to Homestead. So this game has just been a story of turnovers so far.
Really sloppy start so far.
Ball on the line. Off of the steal, Kaya Hurt dribbles it out of bounds. Homestead gets possession as Evie Bottoms comes into the game for Molly Stock.
And Evie Bottoms coming in earlier than usual. You see 3 turnovers for Homestead, 1 for Lawrence North. And some of those turnovers were because of point guard Molly Stock there. Coach Barker just wants to see something else and see what else other people can do.
Maggie Kinsley saves the ball from the over and back. Ayanna Patterson, another long jumper, no good. 0 for 2 on those jump shots today. Other side, 3 way too strong for Camara Mills, and ball goes to Homestead.
And those are the shots that Lawrence North is going to need to hit today. Those wide open threes, especially early on here. You've already got a lead. Try to extend it more and really put the pressure on the Spartans.
Bottoms working on Victoria Geis as the new point guard. Lawrence North in man. Homestead also in man on defense. Teams usually like to do a zone defense against Homestead, trying to double up Ayanna Patterson underneath. So far, this man defense is working. Allie Stevens' shot gets blocked by Ariel Helm. Lawrence North back on offense. Open 3 for Hurt, knocks it down. And they're going to call it a 2-foot, barely on the line, but the most important thing, Coach Parker calls a timeout. He has to spend one early to get his team focused.
This is a very bad start. You see wide open right there by Kaya Hurt, foot just barely on the line, but Coach Parker does not like to see that bad start on the offensive and defensive side, a little over 4 minutes in.
And Homestead is usually a first quarter team, but between yesterday and I guess today, the first quarter just really hasn't been showing up very well for them.
And especially yesterday, they came out firing in the second half. And that second quarter, they had a much better second quarter. They were tied going into that second quarter yesterday. So maybe another slow start here today and just going to get better. But either way, Coach Parker cannot like how this start.
Well, coming out of the half yesterday, Homestead, they really took control of the game. But if you're Coach Parker, you don't want to have to wait till halftime for your team to really turn it up another notch. Evie Bottoms staying in the game. Molly Stock staying on the sideline. No fouls in this game so far. We are halfway through the first quarter. And that ball tipped out of bounds by Ariel Helm, who's doing a really good job of guarding Ayanna Patterson so far.
And she's not the tallest player for the Wildcats here. She's 6 feet tall. There's a freshman who's 6'2", but because Helm is a senior, you'd likely match her up against another senior. She has more experience.
She got another block there on Maggie Kinsley. So far, this Wildcat defense doing a really good job. Emma Royce with the open 3, and she knocks it down. Emma Royce, the 53% three-point shooter for Homestead, knocks down a 3.
She's the best three-point shooter percentage-wise on this team. We don't mention her as much as one of those shooters just because she doesn't take as many shots.
Layup no good, no foul called. Still no fouls in this game. Bottoms taking her time. Coach Parker calling a hurry up in the offense. Patterson, pump fake, drives inside and lays it in off the glass. Ayanna Patterson, she's the type of player that when she wants to get 2 points, she is going to get 2 points.
And if you can get it down low to Ayanna Patterson by the block there, she will score almost every single time. That play obviously set up for that right there. Coach Parker needs to try to do that more and more and force the Wildcats to stop her. And a lot of times players will get in foul trouble because of it.
Ayanna Patterson loves to try to force her way to the free throw line. Also has had some games where she's gotten into foul trouble. She's very active in the foul game on both sides. Emma Royce tipped it out of bounds, being aggressive, going for the steal. Ball will stay with Lawrence North.
And ever since that timeout, Homestead's gone on a little run. It's only been 5 points, but Lawrence North has not looked as good. Their offense hasn't seemingly got those open shots like they did before. Just need to find their offense again.
Kaya Hurt playing point guard for Lawrence North. She's being guarded by, just back into the game, Molly Stock, and that's going to be a travel called on Jemiah Thomas. And another turnover for Lawrence North. Homestead up by 1, minute 39 left in the first quarter. Royce off the screen. Doesn't take it, pump fake for Patterson. Mid-range jumper, too short again. And they're gonna say the rebound out of bounds. Area Miller was out. Ball goes with Homestead.
And the Wildcats are gonna allow Ayanna Patterson to take as many jump shots as she wants.
Molly Stock three-pointer, no good, but Emma Royce gets the rebound. Maggie Kinsley step up three, no good, board by Patterson. And she goes no in off the glass.
Something that Homestead does so well is collect those offensive rebounds. They get 3 chances right there, but couldn't convert on any of them. The Wildcats cannot allow many second chance points, though.
No look pass can't be converted. And Patterson collects the rebound. First foul of the game called, a reaching foul on the rebound. That's going to go against Jemiah Thomas, going up for the rebound behind Ayanna Patterson. Royce heads to the sideline for Claire Landrigan into the game. Now a little bit of a stoppage in play. Referees discussing. We're back. Molly Stock on offense. Tosses it to Evie Bottoms, staying in the game, getting a lot of playing time. She had a really good game against North Central, as a lot of Homestead did. Claire Landrigan takes the catch and shoot three. Beautiful for Landrigan. Homestead takes a 4-point lead.
Landrigan's only 27% on the season from 3. She's improved from earlier in the season, and it's really good for the Spartans to see her make her shots. This is a lineup that we haven't seen too many times in the season so far, so Coach Parker definitely trying to have some more players be on the court that they're not used to being on.
A little bit small of a lineup as a 3 taken. 2 strong offensive board for Lawrence North, and another travel by Jemiah Thomas. Homestead gets the ball again.
That's already the 3rd travel by the Wildcats in the last 4 minutes.
2 seconds left. Homestead's got to get a shot off. Patterson puts up a 3, no good. So that makes Patterson 0 for 4 on jump shots in the first quarter. Homestead, though, up 12-8.
limits.
Anderson, touchdown, Homestead!
Dribbles it, mid-range jumper up. He got it! Zach Kruger hit the shot.
Welcome back to Homestead High School as Spartans lead 12-8 at the end of the first quarter. The lineup for Homestead will stay the same coming out of the quarter break. Claire Landergan and Evie Bottom staying in the game. With Emma Royst and Allie Stevens on the sideline.
And ever since Coach Parker used his first time out, this team has gone on an 8-0 run, playing much better on both sides of the court.
Definitely called for a much cleaner game by the Lady Spartans, more passing, less turning over. You can just see the passing for Homestead. Beautiful. Maggie Kinsley too strong on the three. Had a good look though. Now Lawrence North with a chance to attack. Helm thought about going in on Patterson a couple times. Gets it away. Hurt drives inside, wide open. Fits it through the small window to Jemiah Thomas and gets the nice, easy layup.
What a pass right there by her. That was a dime and looked like she didn't even look at Thomas there, and it's a much better offensive possession for them.
Claire Landergan thought about three. Decided against it. Stock from the corner. Knocks it down. There's Molly Stock, the shooter, to give Homestead a 5-point lead.
Getting her name back in the scoring column after not scoring a game ago, definitely going to help her confidence right there.
Kaya Hurt, as a point guard, has had a really good game. So Molly Stock slaps that ball out of bounds. Intended for Kaya Hurt. Kaya Hurt has had a couple no-look passes lead to points. Really good job so far assisting the ball. Now that pass off the face. And leads to a Spartan turnover. That ball did not want to go in the basket, but decided, hey, you know, I might as well while I'm here.
Molly Stock, another 2 points right there, getting her total up to 5. And this team is on a 13-2 run, looking really good right now.
They're looking like their traditional basketball team. That shot put up very wild, but into the back of the rim. On the other side, Allie Stevens swishes a three. The Splash Sisters are back in the lineup, ladies and gentlemen.
And when you go to a zone defense, as the Wildcats have, you are going to leave a lot of chances for the other team to hit open shots, and that's what Homestead has been able to do, find the open players. Stock and Stevens both hitting a three.
Lawrence North is going to have to start finding an answer for the three-point game because it's starting to get hot for the Spartans. Ball on the ground, and a jump ball forced by Ariel Helm and Evie. Bombs possession arrow points in favor of Lawrence North.
That's something Evie Bottoms has provided this season, coming off the bench. One of those players who's not scared to dive for a ball. She's really stepped up in that North Central game 2 games ago, getting a lot of rebounds and steals.
And now a new lineup for Coach Parker as Sydney Freem comes into the game for Maggie Kinsley. Open three, too strong for Camara Mills. Ball on the ground and out of bounds off of Lawrence North.
Mills has gotten a few open looks, but she has not been able to knock any of them down. She's been struggling in this one recently.
Here come the Lady Spartans back in. Molly Stock from the corner. Too far to the left. Rebounded by Royce. Outside to Stevens. She knocks it down. Allie Stevens, the sharpshooter, gets another three.
She can get so hot or so cold so quickly. Right now, she's starting off this game really well. She only made 1 3 a game ago, but already 2 for 2 in this one.
feels like when Molly Stock is on, Allie Stevens is on, and vice versa. Right now, they're both on. Ariel Helm cross court pass to Mills. Keeps it from going out of bounds. Lawrence North trying to find something, passing the ball as much as they can. Pass deflected by Royce, keeps it alive. Deep three, no good. Offensive board. And now Lawrence North is going to reset. Great offensive board by Jemiah Thomas.
The Wildcats still have not been able to hit a 3, 0 for 6 in this one. Homestead 5 for 10, and that's what's led to this Homestead big lead.
Wildcats take a 3 and knocks it down. Ariel Helm finally gets points after a long possession by Lawrence North.
A much-needed 3 right there. The offense had not been looking good.
Ayanna Patterson uses her body, knocks down Ariel Helm, the defender, and puts it in for 2. Deep 3, way too far off, and rebounded by Emma Royce. Patterson, ISO underneath, and gets fouled, draws the foul. Finally getting the foul she was looking for, and we'll head to the free throw line.
Ayanna Patterson draws so many fouls doing it right there, and that's only the first foul here. But right now, Ayanna Patterson, she's improved a lot this season from the free throw line, a little over 60% a season ago. Now she's at 73% this season.
Like you said, very, very improved. Up 6% from last year at the free throw stripe. Second free throw knocked down for Patterson. Here comes Lawrence North trying to stay in this one, down by 11 with 3:19 left. And they're going to call an off-the-ball foul on Ayanna Patterson, her first.
This game to start, there were a lot of turnovers, but there have not been a lot of fouls. It's only the third foul of the game, 1 for Homestead, 2 for the Wildcats. It's been relatively clean, not getting chippy at all.
That was actually the first foul for Homestead, like you just mentioned. A little bit surprising considering Homestead's a team that they're very aggressive on defense, especially Emma Royce and Molly Stock, usually with a couple fouls by now. As now Sydney Freem comes out of the game, and will be Maggie Kinsley comes back in. So now full Homestead starters on the basketball court.
In this lineup, they struggled early on. They were losing by 4 when the lineup first started. And then Evie Bottoms came in for Molly Stock, so we'll see if they can do any better.
Emma Royce stepped out of bounds. Her heel touched the blue line, turns it back over to Lawrence North. Ball stolen by Royce, redeeming herself. Gets it to Patterson underneath. Kinsley pump fake, back to Patterson's. Ball touched it, no travel, and she lays it in with her body. Again, being so physical. And a technical foul called on Coach Chris Griffin from Lawrence North, and now they're having a little bit of conversation.
That was a very short whistle right there, right away. Calling the technical on Lawrence North. We haven't seen too many of those.
And now the assistant coach thrown out of the game. Another technical. This is unbelievable.
We definitely have not seen that this season. The Wildcats are getting mad.
Wow, this is a little bit surprising. Not really something we expected. This can be pretty interesting. We'll see who the Spartans send to the free throw line. I'd expect it to be Molly Stock, and it will be. Molly Stock, 100% free throw shooter, now with a solid 4 free throws at the line. 14 for 14 this year. Looking to make it 18 for 18. First free throw is barely good. This is very, very surprising. Quick turn of events in this game. Second free throw good for Molly Stock.
And this is really going to hurt the Wildcats, just giving away points. The lead was only at 13 for Homestead, but they're going to get all these free throws, and it's just going to extend the lead even more.
And Molly Stock with her first miss of the season. You can see the disappointment in her face, but knocks down the first three. And Homestead, they get possession of the ball after technical fouls.
That right there could very well given all the momentum to Homestead if they didn't have it already in this game.
Molly Stock, you know she's going to be a little disappointed as Maggie Kinsley called for the travel, receiving the pass from Ayanna Patterson. Lawrence North finally touching a basketball for what first time in what seems like quite a while. It's been probably 10 real-time minutes. Now Ayanna Patterson with her third block of the game. That is incredible. Allie Stevens offensively airballs a three-pointer.
She started so well in this one, and that one looked good, but she just couldn't get it there. And we'll see how the Wildcats respond. Not a good start on the two possessions that they've had it.
They don't respond very well. Airball in this game. You can tell the double tech threw things off a little bit. Today the officials they're not really taking anything. Homestead back on offense, look for Patterson. They're going to call an offensive foul on Ayanna Patterson.
And that's her second right there. The game is a 16-point difference right now, so it's not going to matter too much, but Coach Barker still may go to his bench.
Now Sydney Freem comes into the game for Ayanna Patterson. No reason to mess with her. Let her just sit out for the remainder of the game with her two fouls.
And she's the leading scorer of this game to this point. She's got 9 in this one. But even without her, the team does pretty well.
Lawrence North open look underneath the basket. Ariel Helm knocks it down, cuts into Homestead's lead. Spartans lead by 14 with just over a minute left. Lady Spartans just dribbling the ball around. Freem at the top of the key, had the opportunity to shoot it, didn't take it. Back out to Stock, and now Lawrence North's bench is getting a little bit excited. Long defensive stand without Ayanna Patterson. Bottoms pump fake, pass underneath to Freem, see what she can do. Layup no good. And a foul called on Molly Stock going for the rebound.
Molly Stock, we mentioned earlier, she's one of the very aggressive players for Homestead. She averages 1.3 steals per game, but she also picks up a lot of fouls when she tries to get those steals. That was one of those scenarios.
Ever since the conversation between the officials and the Lawrence North coaches, there have been 3 fouls called on Homestead, so maybe the officials collectively agreeing to maybe call a little bit more fouls. There's a three-pointer in and out for Michaela Tucker. Homestead back on offense. Emma Royce thought about driving in, dishes it back out for the final shot. 7 seconds left. Stock at the logo. Double cross, gets the screen, and they're going to call an offensive foul on the screen. That foul going to be attributed to Sydney Freem. Just 2.7 seconds left in the first half.
There definitely have been a lot more fouls in this one ever since those technicals from earlier. The game's getting a little more chippy.
Not much time left. Desperation shot put up and no good for Kyra Hurt. 31-17 at halftime after very unexpected turn of events.
In a very good second quarter for Homestead. They came out slow, 12-8 going into the second quarter, but ever since then, a 19-9 run by Homestead.
Homestead up, like you said, on that 19-9 run. And they're showing some domination. Aeon Patterson being beast mode, 9 points.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
To get you home.
Ooh, I'm gonna eat you up when you go home. Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah.
Can't wait. I'm just gonna bite you.
Oh, baby, that looks amazing. Marcos, pizza lovers get it.
Marco's Pizza, located at 10345 Illinois Road, inside the shops of Scott Road. Thank you, Marcos, for supporting the Point 91 FM and being a proud sponsor of Homestead Media's athletics coverage.
This is the OPS Halftime Report.
Welcome back to Homestead High School for the OPS Halftime Report. Homestead leads Lawrence North 31-17. We're going to take a look at some of our SAC headlines. Starting up, we've talked about this game all season long. We've been hyping it up all season long. Next week's showdown will be a matchup between the only two undefeated teams in the SAC.
And this game very well could decide both the boys and girls SAC title. Two great games, and everybody should be tuned in for this one.
I mean, if you're not tuned into this one, then be here at Homestead High School, because this game is, I mean, we are not exaggerating when we say this could be the game of the year. Two bitter rivals for boys and girls basketball, but for girls basketball, there's so much at stake in this game. Both teams undefeated in the SAC. It's essentially the championship game.
And it's going to be a top 10 matchup. We didn't think Snyder was going to be as good as they were, but they are number 8 right now. They had 2 early on top 5 wins, and they've just looked really good this season.
And in the boys, there's only 2 unbeaten teams remaining after 2 games. Concordia and Homestead are the only unbeaten teams in the conference. Homestead, they got the win over Southside last night. Concordia, they're having a pretty good season so far.
And again, you could probably project Homestead to be undefeated to this point, but Concordia being a shocker, a Johnny Washington leading Concordia so far this season. He had 40 earlier this season, but he's just had a really good season for Concordia, and it's shocking to see that those are the only 2 unbeaten teams left.
And you may have heard us briefly mention it earlier in the stream, but Homestead, the girls team, the one you're watching right now, they've reached number 1 in the Coaches Bowl, meaning that they are number 1 in the state of Indiana. Snyder is the only other team in the Coaches Poll ranked number 15.
Homestead finally getting to that number 1 in the Coaches Poll, and it's just been a great season. They've had some really good wins, especially recently South Bend, Washington, HSE, Hamilton Southeastern, that is Fishers, and North Central. They've got a great resume right now.
All those teams Homestead has played and all those teams that they have beaten are proving why they are number one in the coaches poll. And they're an exciting team to watch, and that's why you should be staying tuned to watch them. Second half coming up after the halftime show.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
To get you home.
Ooh, I'm gonna eat you up when you go home. Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah.
Can't wait. I'm just gonna bite you.
Oh, baby, that looks amazing. Marcos, pizza lovers get it.
Marco's Pizza, located at 10345 Illinois Road, inside the shops of Scott Road. Thank you, Marcos, for supporting the Point 91 FM and being a proud sponsor of Homestead Media's athletics coverage.
Welcome back to Homestead High School and the OPS Halftime Report. We're going to take a look at our SAC standings just to reimburse how important of that game is versus Snyder. 6-0 Homestead versus 5-0 Snyder coming up Friday. But then take a look at the other teams in the standings. Carroll, their only loss this year to Homestead in a 20-point victory for the Spartans.
Obviously, there still are some teams in the mix, but the top two right there, the only undefeated teams, Homestead and Snyder. Even though Snyder hasn't played as many games, still undefeated, and they could hold a tiebreaker over Homestead if they could get that win.
On the complete other side, there's two defeated teams in the SAC. Concordia, who has played Homestead, lost by 50 to them, and Northside, who's still yet to play Homestead. Two teams, they're a little bit struggling, but really the most surprising team, we talk about it every week, is Southside, who they had a really good showing against Homestead, but 1-5 in the SAC after being in the top 3 years in a row and 2-10 overall. A little bit surprising.
They've only got 2 players on their team this season who've been able to provide scoring, Olivia Smith and Justice Billingsley. They've been so good, but nobody else has been stepping up, and that's why they have struggled so much this season.
Really, the SAC is going to come down to Homestead Snyder. That's mainly really the only thing you need to know, as both teams look to make deep postseason runs. possibly see each other in the stacked regional that Homestead plays in.
They very well could, and it's going to be really interesting just to see how this postseason stacks up, who's going to be playing who.
It's going to be really important as the second half about to start up. Homestead, they lead by 14 going into the third quarter. We'll see if they can build on that lead.
And that was just a huge second quarter for the Spartans. And ever since Coach Parker called his timeout, Homestead has just dominated this game, outscoring Lawrence North 27-9.
Homestead will start with the ball. Molly Stock remaining the true point guard for Homestead. Beautiful play to sign. Almost had the shot. Couldn't take it. Maggie Kinsley. Open three at the top. Knocks it down. Homestead demanding early.
Great ball movement right there and a great set play. Molly Stock wasn't able to catch the ball as cleanly as she would have liked, but still finding Maggie Kinsley the top of the key, and that is her spot. She knocked down a few threes from there yesterday. She's a little over 20% now. She's at 25% from three on the season. She's just been improving.
Continues to improve and impress, filling in that number 5 role with true leadership. Like you said, top of the key is her spot. Homestead gets the offensive rebound. Kinsley misses the layup. Pass around Allie Stevens. Open three. And you can see from the sideline, before Allie even took the shot, Coach Barker was clapping his hands and walking down to the other side of the court.
And again, it was the ball movement that found the open shooter. Allie Stevens having a really good game, 3 of 4 from behind the arc.
A very good all-around game. Balanced attack from Homestead in this one. Stevens takes the pass from cross court, drives inside, slips up. And she's on the ground and gets helped up by Ayanna Patterson and Ariel Helm of Lawrence North.
Lawrence North really needs a stop right here. For the past 2 possessions, they're allowing more and more second chance points.
Ayanna Patterson's shot no good, and she can't get her own rebound. Ball goes to Lawrence North, down by 20. Need to find any form of scoring that they can to try to get themselves back into this game. And they're going to need to turn it up on defense. Lawrence North try to do something. Jemai Thomas underneath the basket and one. Maggie Kinsley called for the foul, and that's just what the Lawrence North team needed.
It really was. Thomas has been leading this team so far. She's got 6 points in this one and been able to get all of them in the paint. She's been really effective down low.
Jemai Thomas with only 1 foul, misses the free throw. Ayanna Patterson gets another rebound. Allie Stevens, she drives inside again, gets blocked again. Another block for Jemai Thomas, and now Lawrence North has a chance to attack. Shot no good, tries to get her own rebound, doesn't get it. Patterson with the board for Homestead. Drives inside, that is beautiful. And that is why Ayanna Patterson is so good. That Euro step cutting in between 2 defenders for the soft lay-in.
And she's done it all season. The only way she's been stopped with that Euro step is when someone is stepping in front of her. That's what you got to do. Try to take the charge. Unable to do that there by the Wildcats.
Patterson is arguably the least guardable player in the state of Indiana. As a foul is going to go against Maggie Kinsley again. That is going to be her 2nd foul of the game, 2nd foul of the 3rd quarter.
Maggie Kinsley is a really good leader on this defensive end. She isn't talked about a lot as much as the other players because her numbers don't stand out, but she does a lot of guarding against the best player on the other team.
Allie Stevens on the left side for Homestead. Coming off 2 missed shots from Jemai Thomas. Up by 20. Stevens trying to fight underneath the basket, can't get it, and the rebound goes to Ariel Helm. Lawrence North back on offense. Camara Mills just came back into the game.
Their offense this quarter has not been great. They've only scored 2 points so far. They just haven't been able to find the rhythm.
Allie Stevens on the fast break, assisted by Ayanna Patterson. And Stevens lays it into the basket. Homestead just been so demanding on offense this quarter.
They really have been, and the Wildcats have had no answer. 10-2 in this quarter in this favor of the Spartans. The Wildcats just need to find anything to try to keep this one from being even more of a blowout.
Ball deflected by Patterson. He's trying to get it again to Jemiah Thomas underneath. Allie Stevens open again underneath the basket for another 2 points. She's up to 13 today.
Just wide open right there. And that kind of explains how this quarter has been going for the Wildcats, really struggling on the defensive end.
Coach Parker yesterday ensured that his team ran away with the game in the third quarter, clearly doing it again. Is that three-pointer no good? Offensive board for Hurt, and she gets fouled going up for the shot.
Maggie Kinsley picking up 3 relatively quick fouls. Here she might need to come out, but it's a 24-point game. We might see the starters not play as much anyways.
Patterson will likely stay in the game. She doesn't come out very often. Coach Parker, he's looking to make some substitutions as well as Coach Griffin. First free throw, no good for Kaya Hurt, and here come the substitutions. There's too many to list off, but you can see for yourself on the screen. Players staying in the game for Homestead are Patterson and Stock, 2 players having really good games so far.
This is a lineup that we saw earlier, but we haven't seen too many times this season. Molly Stock, the starting guard, and then 2 other guards, Landrigan and Evie Bottoms. Interesting to see all 3 in the game at the same time.
Patterson on the fast break, 1v3. Gets the ball stolen away. Great play by Lalani early. She dishes it outside. Great ball movement by Lawrence North. The 3 short for Ariel Helm, and Homestead is going to take possession. Lawrence North forced to call a full timeout. Nothing is going their way right now. Partway through the third quarter, Homestead up 43-19.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Welcome back to Homestead High School as the Lady Spartans have run away with this game in the third quarter, outscoring Lawrence North 12-2.
Just been complete dominance by the Spartans, especially in this quarter. The Wildcats have had no answer on their offensive side.
Homestead going to start with the ball. Same players stay in the lineup. It's rare we see both Molly Stock and Evie Bottoms in the game at the same time. Evie Bottoms usually comes in as the substitute point guard. Right now staying in. Stock thought about 3, didn't take it. Inside, Patterson at the top of the key. Euro step, Leaves it short, gets her own rebound, and the putback is in. Ayanna Patterson has just done everything in her power to put the ball in the basket this game.
And the team was really struggling early on when she was taking those jump shots, but now she's been driving more. You see 18 for 37 for Homestead, a really good number for them to be at there.
Lawrence North needs to get something going on offense. Hopefully the timeout starts working out for them. They don't want this game to go to a running clock. Hurt at the top of the key. It looks like Lawrence North is just trying to get a three of some kind. All their passes remaining outside the arc.
And early on, Hurt was doing a really good job of finding the open player, really doing well at that point guard role. But ever since that first quarter, she has not been looking as effective, and neither has this team.
Finally, an open three for Lawrence North. No good for Ariel Miller. Ball on the ground, jump ball, possession stays with Lawrence North. And now Hillary Adams will come into the game for Molly Stock, Maggie Kinsley for Ayanna Patterson. This probably won't be the last time we see Patterson on the floor, but so far, only 13 points for her this game. If this game were to end now, that would be a season low, her lowest 17 last time here at home against Hamilton Southeastern.
She had a great game yesterday, but as you mentioned at home, she's been struggling recently. She's going to need to try to start playing better, especially with more important SAC games coming up.
Hillary Adams on the court for the first time today. Played a lot yesterday versus Southside. Maggie Kinsley in the game with 3 fouls, gets fouled on the floor. This is going to be Lawrence North's first foul of the second half. Homestead gets the ball at the baseline.
There haven't been too many fouls. The only ones for Homestead in this quarter have been for Maggie Kinsley, but that second quarter had a lot of fouls. Both teams starting to play more aggressive, but ever since then it seems like it's been more relaxed. The Wildcats not pressuring anymore, no full court press.
Bottoms inbounds off the box format on the inbound. Homestead likely just going to stick with some ball movement, run down the clock as much as they can, try to get to a 35-point lead. Kinsley inside, puts up a layup way over the basket. Caught by Lawrence North. Hurt. Dishes outside, beautiful pass. 3, no good. And Homestead will get a chance on offense again. Homestead with only one starter in, Maggie Kinsley. The rest players coming off the bench.
With only that one starter in, the offense doesn't look like they're flowing as well as they usually do. Some miscommunication. That's just more because this team, or excuse me, just the players in right now haven't all played on the court together. Just trying to find their rhythm together.
Tell Coach Parker is trying to keep his players very, very rested. It is going to be a long 2 weeks, 5 games over the span of 11 days. That's going to be an offensive foul. Ball back to Lawrence North with 2.8 seconds left. As Maggie Kinsley picks up her 4th foul of the game, in a game that's been relatively clean. 4 fouls by Homestead. Lawrence North needs to put up a shot. Wild one put up, no good from half court for Kaya Hurt. Homestead on a run in the 3rd quarter. They lead 45-19.
wait to get you home.
Ooh, I'm gonna eat you up when you go home. Oh my goodness.
Oh, yeah.
Can't wait. I'm just gonna bite you.
Oh, baby, that looks amazing. Marcos, pizza lovers get it.
Marco's Pizza, located at 10345 Illinois Road, inside the shops of Scott Road. Thank you, Marcos, for supporting the Point 91 FM and being a proud sponsor of Homestead Media's athletics coverage.
Welcome back to Homestead High School. Start of the fourth quarter. Ayanna Patterson back in the game for Homestead. And Spartans up by 26, looking to get 9 more points to bring this to a running clock. Kinsley open from the corner, 3, no good. And called out of bounds off of Homestead.
Another good look right there for Homestead. That's what they've been getting this half over and over. Just a bunch of good looks. They've been knocking down most of them. But on the defensive side, they played so well in that third quarter. They only allowed 2 points. They've only allowed 7 points since the end of the first quarter.
Deep 3 taken, no good for Khmer Mills. And a whistle blown. Homestead will get the basketball. Patterson, double guarded under the basket. Shot no good. Gets her own rebound, tries to get it, and out of bounds off of Lawrence North.
Patterson's going to do everything that she can to try to get over 20 points. She doesn't have too much time, especially judging that she probably won't stay in for the rest of the game. She's at 13 now, but it's been her and Allie Stevens who've been leading this team.
Patterson fields the rebound. No foul called. Ayanna not happy about that one. Her on offense, tripped up is Mills. No whistles. And a beautiful spin move from Lania early. Got the lead down to 24.
It's a great possession there by Lawrence North, and that's what they have needed for a while but haven't been able to get.
Allie Stevens fired from another planet, left it short. As Lawrence North takes a deep 2. Too short for Kaya Hurt.
Kaya Hurt has really been struggling, and no one has been able to shoot well for a while for Lawrence North. They've only made 1 3 in this whole game, 1 for 15, and they're 10 of 35 in the whole game, just field goals wise.
Homestead back on offense. Patterson double guarded again. The layup no good for Ayanna. And a foul called, picked up by Jemiah Thomas. She'll head to the free throw line. That foul going against Ayanna Patterson, her third.
And she's been really effective in the paint today, drawing fouls and scoring most of her points from there. She's been leading Lawrence North also in scoring.
First free throw good. Second free throw good for Jemiah Thomas. And here comes the press for Lawrence North. Stock passes it off to Stevens. Patterson underneath. And a foul call. No, they're going to call it out of bounds off of Ayanna Patterson. No foul called.
A really wild shot there by Ayanna Patterson, just right over the backboard.
Lawrence North on offense. Jemiah Thomas underneath against Patterson. She gets her 4th block of the game and tips it. Stolen away by Stevens. Drives to the hoop, dribbles it off of Patterson's foot. Kinsley recovers it. Patterson goes up for the layup and gets the easy 2. All alone underneath the basket. Homestead's lead back up to 24. Jemiah Thomas gets the ball stolen away by Emma Royce. Another great defensive play by her. Stock underneath to Stevens. Layup, and it's in. Allie Stevens up to 15 points for Homestead. Stevens and Patterson tied as the leading scorers of the game, each with 15.
And Allie Stevens been able to score in the paint and from behind the arc, doing it all.
Pass underneath to Jemiah Thomas. Into the hoop. Great assist. Homestead so far beating the press. Patterson gets it from the mid-range. No good. Rebounded, attempting to get by Royce, and tipped out by Ariel Helm. Homestead will keep possession.
And Ariel Helm had a really good start to this game, trying to contain Ayanna Patterson, but Patterson has just played really well in the past 3 quarters.
Stock inbounds it to Stevens, gets it to Patterson. Assist to Kinsley. Great court vision by Ayanna Patterson. Hurt crosses half court. And a beautiful drive to the basket by Kaya Hurt. Trying to keep Lawrence North alive in this game.
Kaya Hurt finally able to score again on the offensive side, and now they're bringing back the press.
Patterson with a great grab. First shot, no good. Ball on the ground. She recovers it. And a timeout called by Coach Parker. It will be a 30-second timeout.
Great job by Patterson to stay with the possession, and that just shows what this team has been doing all game long, staying aggressive, trying to keep as many second chance points available.
Parker. And right now, guess what? Next game, we have another one before the Snyder game. Homestead plays Mishawaka Marion on Tuesday, January 11th. Game starts at 7:30, so be tuned in to Homestead Live to watch that one. Mishawaka Marion ranked 13th in the state of Indiana, so it will be no easy task for the Homestead Spartans.
That's going to be a very important game before the Snyder game, giving a lot of confidence to this team, and they have a chance to have a 12-game win streak before playing the Panthers.
Evie Bottoms to inbound for Homestead. And it's stolen away by Lawrence North. Fast break. Imani Washington floater goes up and in. Stock, the corner, looking to feed Patterson underneath. And she will get fouled going up for the shot. Lawrence North bench can't believe the foul call. They are not happy with that one.
And Ayanna Patterson, we haven't seen her go to the line too many times this game, only one time earlier. She usually goes a lot more than only 2 times, but still, she's 2 for 3 right now.
First free throw good for Ayanna Patterson. She's up to 16 points. And now 17, 3 points away from another 20-point game. Pass stolen away by Evie Bottoms. Across half court, delivers it to Landrigan, underneath to Patterson. Puts up the shot, and she's up to 19 points. Homestead's lead back up to 26.
Again, getting close to that 20-point mark. Obviously, the streak was ruined a few games ago against HSE, where she only scored 17 points, but still trying to get the streak going again.
Deep three taken. No good off the rim. Kept alive and thrown right to Molly Stock. Patterson, one-on-one, fast break, Euro step, 21 points. And Coach Parker takes a time out. Ayanna Patterson will come out of the game with 21 points and some substitutions coming in. Well, guys, the upcoming schedule for Homestead is pretty stacked. Only 6 games left for the Lady Spartans. Mishawaka Marion, we just told you about that one. Then versus Snyder, big game everyone knows about that one. Then Warsaw, that game will not be on the radio broadcast or TV broadcast. Northside, you can catch that game on the .91 FM. And then the last 2 games of the season, South Bend, St. Joseph, and Northrop will be here on Homestead Live.
Some very important conference games, especially that Snyder one, very well could decide the SAC. And Northside, they've got a good team as well. We'll see how Homestead fares in those matchups.
All Homestead starters out of the game, and we'll get to take a peek into the future of Homestead as we do at the end of most of the Lady Spartans games. Pretty dominant team, ranked #1 for a reason, getting many large wins.
Today getting a lot of playing time, over 2.5 minutes for this one. Definitely good for younger players to get more experience.
Lawrence North not quite electing to do the same. Kaya Hurt staying as the point guard. Pass to Early, underneath, deep out, and a 3 knocked down for Camara Mills. Very late in the game, they needed a little bit of that earlier. Great to see her start to knock down some shots.
And they've definitely been missing that 3-point shot today. 2 for 17. It's been a real struggle for the Wildcats from behind the arc.
Amani Washington picks up a foul on Brooklyn Freem, sister of Sydney Freem, who's not currently in the game. Yesterday at Southside, we got to see a pretty cool Sydney Freem to Brooklyn Freem assist a shot as Brooklyn Freem knocks down a layup for 2 points.
She's only a freshman. Her and Sinai Sandlin definitely could be the future of this team.
3-point shot, no good for Lania Early. Homestead back on offense, probably going to pass it around, take some time off the clock. No reason to get too aggressive here late in the game. Brooklyn Freem underneath, back out. Hillary Adams top the key 3, no good. Rebounded by Freem. And a jump ball called, possession arrow points to Lawrence North.
Lawrence North in this one has really just been outmatched. They started pretty well early on. It was 8-12 after the end of the first quarter, but Homestead's just been dominating so much. The #1 team in the coaches poll, Homestead, has been way too much to handle.
I wouldn't say it hasn't been the flashiest and most impressive win for Homestead. It's Amani Washington hits a deep 3. Only a sophomore Washington is. Bright future here for Lawrence North. Usually a very esteemed, very good girls basketball program, having a little bit of an off years. Kaya Hurt picks up another foul.
We mentioned it earlier, Lawrence North, they went to the state title game in 2019. They won it in 2020, so they've definitely had some success, but they could be facing a team that might be going to the state title game.
Claire Landrigan, another catch and shoot 3. Really good look from Evie Bottoms. Now Lawrence North gonna slowly take the ball up. 40 seconds left in the game. Homestead leading by 27. Pretty good showing for the Lady Spartans, especially from the bench, and Claire Landrigan is almost an and 1 for Lania Early. Sinai Sandlin picks up the foul. Early will head to the free throw line.
And as you mentioned, a really good showing from the bench. Claire Landrigan getting the new career high. Lot of bench scoring today for the Spartans. It's been really good help to the starters.
You can tell Coach Parker is just trying to give his players some rest, his starters some rest, going deep into the bench. 9 players playing before the last 3 minutes, which is very, very unusual. Lawrence North keeps the possession alive. Shot up, no good, and rebounded by Landrigan with 20 seconds left.
With this, Homestead will likely just try to dribble out the clock.
Bottoms goes over to the corner, recognizing the clock. And she's just going to dribble it out. It looks like Homestead is going to hold on to win 62-36. Good win for the Spartans in a very, very eventful game. Lady Spartans will improve to 15-1.
Another great win for the Spartans. 15-1, 11-game win streak for this team. They are clicking.
They are clicking very well. Every single part. When one player is not playing their best game, you already know another is going to step up and play to their full potential. Allie Stevens today played really well, took some deep shots, knocked down some deep shots, and she is your player of the game. Karlie Flanagan is actually standing right by with Allie Stevens for a post-game interview. Karlie?
Thanks, Anthony. And Allie, you had a rough start in the beginning of the first quarter, but then your team came back and never looked back. How were you able to dominate the last 3 quarters?
I think that we all executed and we worked hard and we knew that we had to get some extra passes. We need to get in the Yana more, and I think that's what made us get more of a run and it made it better.
And you had another great shooting game and scored a lot down low. How are you able to knock down so many shots?
Just practice and time in the gym. I'm in the gym at least 3 hours each day almost, just getting up extra shots, and I couldn't have done it without my teammates and their good passes.
And last question, you all have some important games coming up, first Mishawaka-Marion and then SAC battle against Snyder. What are you looking to do to prepare for these games?
Just get after it and practice on Monday, work hard, do better at executing our plays, and just do the little things that matter.
All right, and good luck at those games, and I'm glad you had a great game. Anthony, back to you.
Thank you, Karlie, and a great game for Allie Stevens. 15 points, not nearly a career high like she had against North Central, but really brought the things together, brought the pieces together for Homestead.
And a lot of players have been playing really well, and if this team wants to make a deep run in the postseason, all these players are going to have to step up.
All the players, including the bench, who had some significant minutes today. The last 6 games of the season will not be a cakewalk for the Lady Spartans, but we can expect them to really turn it up. I mean, today is showing when they weren't playing their best basketball, not their best team basketball, turning the ball over a lot, they still came away with a huge victory.
And it was a very sloppy start, but they made a bunch of three-pointers, shooting 50% from 3, 8 of 16, 17 of 38 on their 2-pointers. A great showing by this team.
And they really did a fantastic job. And Noah, offensively and defensively, the Spartans were not at their best, but I mean, there were small plays here and there. Emma Royce had a couple steals. Ayanna Patterson did her fair share of rebounding. Is this team truly the best team in the state of Indiana, even when having an off day?
Well, they're definitely playing like it right now. Even if some players are having an off day, others are stepping up, and if you can have that, you could very well be the best team in the state.
And with that, we're going to wrap up today's live stream. Thank you for watching the first game of 2022 here on Homestead Live. The final score, 62-36. On behalf of the Homestead Live crew, thank you for watching the game today. I'm Anthony Gery, saying goodbye for now alongside silent reporter Noah Lancz. And don't go away, because Tuesday, Homestead will be playing Mishawaka-Marion here at home.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.